got to experience one of these. And there was not a huge crowd, maybe a couple of hundred people. But I remember that was the first time, that was 1987, and that's when I was introduced to Deepak Chopra. And of course then, you know, he was way different than he is now. You couldn't understand hardly anything he said. I was like, oh, who is this guy? What's he talking about? I had no idea what he was talking about. And then his physical appearance, he was a little pudgier than he is now, a little more, he was, you know, dressed in a business suit, and, you know, just now he's, you know, cool and, you know, wears the cool glasses and stuff, but he was a little nerdy then, but, and I'm like, who is this guy? But I bought the CDs, the cassette tapes from the event, and listened over and over and over and over. And that was, I think, one of her very first events. Well, she definitely changed the way the world, the New Thought community thinks, without a doubt. And I'm going to just talk a little bit about her HIV and AIDS work. She used to, that was a big part of her work, was back in the 80s during the HIV/AIDS crisis. She had a what she called the hayride. And she used to have these weekly gatherings where all of these predominantly gay men would come and participate in this event. And she would do these affirmations with them and work with them. And it was transform. It really was an opportunity when there was so much fear around AIDS and homosexuality that she was there to love and embrace these people, and she shined a new light on these guys' lives, to say the least. So, you know, she touched my life deeply. I had the opportunity to see her a couple of more times throughout the years. Always enjoyed seeing her, loved her energy, and she was certainly someone who brought more light to this world in a huge, huge way. So I wanted to honor her today, and just, you know, talk a little bit about some of the things she was about. You know, she went from struggle to strength. When she talks about her story, then in Marianne Williamson's new book, From Tears to Triumph, you know, you find that a good number of the people who are really out there with a strong message, they've gotten there because they hit the bottom floor with some situation in their life. Oprah is a great example. She really had nothing going for her, and she would have probably been the last person you would have expected if you based your success on conditions and circumstances. I mean, she was raped and abused as a child over and over and over again. She was impregnated, I think at age 14. She had a lot of resistance, you know, against everything she did. But there again, through her faith and her attitude, she persevered, and became Oprah. Same thing with Louise Hay. She used these incidents of abuse and cancer and all of these other things that happened, not only to her but to others, to make her stronger and to get the message out there in a huge way. So I think that's what life is about. You know, she demonstrated that. It's like, okay, we all face challenges. I don't know one person, I'm looking around in here, I don't see one person in here who doesn't have challenges. It could be physical, it could be relationships, it could be financial, it could be with work, it could be lots of things. But that's just the cards we're dealt. Maybe I believe we've chosen them at some level. I believe that we're, you know, before we even incarnate, we've sort of made these soul contracts that say, okay, I'm going to come down and I'm going to be in relationship with these people, and I'm going to experience this, and I may take on this illness, and I may be a millionaire, I may be a pauper, whatever. But it's a matter of whatever we chose, how are we going to deal with it? Because anything, and I think the reason these people are such powerful messengers is because they've transformed, overcome these situations in such a huge way. So we all have that potential. The Course in Miracles says, all are chosen, few choose to listen. We all have that ability. It's just, are we choosing that power of choice to pay attention and use every situation as an opportunity for forgiveness and healing? And a couple of, you know, this book, I don't even know how many millions and millions of copies it sold, but it sold a lot. And some of the affirmations, I thought we'd have a little fun today, but some of the affirmations that she's most known for, which are many, 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 and but the one I think is so powerful is life loves you. And what if it's just like Einstein's quote, the biggest decision, and I'm not getting the language exactly right, but one of the most important decisions that we'll ever make is, do we live in a friendly universe?
Yes.
And yes, the answer is yes, because life loves us. You know, if I see this universe as just a bad place, a mean place, an evil place, then guess what? That's what I'm going to bring to me. If I look at life and say life loves me, and I live in a friendly universe, then that's going to be my experience. That's the foundation I need to build everything on. It's a choice, free will. We all have it. We can overcome anything and everything. But whether or not, I don't even think at this point, whether or not we, say for example, have a situation, it may never change. The physical condition may never change. The financial situation may not change, but the miracle is I've changed in my relationship to it, so that I can be in peace regardless of what's happening in my world. I can be that anchor in the midst of the storm. So there's people even today, as we know in Houston, who are experiencing terrible situations. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than what these people are going through, obviously. And it's not getting any better yet, as far as the ego's judgment. But there's people down there, you know, I saw a video this week of miles and miles of people driving to Houston with boats on the back of their trucks. And, you know, even where we park our RV, you know, they have a gathering of things, you know, diapers and food and blankets, and, you know, people from all over. This is touching their hearts and they're pitching in. So it is bringing out the best in people. Of course, we don't have to wait till we get down to the bottom floor to be good doers, okay? I think that if we lived in that heart space, you know, all the time, the world could really shift into so much light and love. It's a matter of, you know, I've heard stories upon stories of 9/11, of Katrina, I remember the tsunami, and now this situation, people have just dropped all of a sudden it's not about color. It's not about, well, who'd you vote for before I help you out? It's, you know, it's all about connection and healing and unconditional love. That's the world that we're here to be in, and that we can create that, but we only do that one by one. The best healing I can give the world is to heal myself and heal my own life. Through that, I live my life more consciously. I go out there and I'm more aware, more connected, hopefully less judgmental, and more willing to lend a helping hand. So it's up to us, you know, to remember that we be the change that we want to see in the world. And of course, to remember life loves us. And then a couple of thoughts, and don't take these just lightly, because they even though they're simple, and sometimes the simplicity of her teachings is like, oh, you know, but if we really took these to heart, our lives would be healed. Every thought we think is creating our future. If you really think every thought, Course in Miracles says we need to guard our thoughts. Pay attention to everything we're thinking. You know, if I'm getting into something that happened yesterday or 5 years ago or whatever, and I'm giving it attention and I'm feeding it, then that's gonna be my experience. So, you know, what we need to do is to guard our thoughts, watch our thoughts, because every thought is creating our future. So if you want to know what your tomorrow looks like, what's your present moment look like? And if we're in a thought system, because we all go there, you know, where we're babbling about fear or judgment or whatever, anger, upset, pause, take a breath, and choose again. Choose a different thought. And add to that, I'd like to add to that, choose a better feeling thought, because it's all about that energy and vibration. And also know that as we heal ourselves, that everyone is lifted with us, because we're not separate. So I don't have to necessarily go out there and fix anybody, what I have to do is heal myself. Through that, I see the world differently. I'm projecting a vibe into the world that allows for healing and transformation. My happy thoughts create my healthy body. And I always say that. Happy thoughts are healthy. Happy cells are healthy cells. So, watch the fun stuff. Have some fun. Laugh a little. If you're feeling downtrodden, turn on a funny movie. Do something to shift that vibe into happiness. Call up someone who makes you smile and laugh. Remember this, only good can come to me. Isn't that nice? That's the truth. Oh God, nothing good ever happens. If you get into that cycle, then guess what? Nothing good's gonna come. But only good can come to me because I live in a world that supports me and loves me, and life loves me, and everyone loves me, and life is grand. I know it works. I've gone through times in my life when I've been in the dumps and I've shifted it, and the whole thing, just by shifting my mind, has changed every circumstance. And sometimes I still go back and I recognize it and say, okay, not to beat ourselves up, not to say, oh, you're a horrible being for thinking this or doing this. Just forgive yourself, don't give it any energy, and just shift gently into a new thought system. And remember this, I always work with and for wonderful people. I love my job. Oh, that's a good one to say. So if you're not loving the job, just say, I always work with and for wonderful people, and I love my job. Remember that. Because so often, I can't tell you over the years how many people have come to me. It's like every time I go to the job, the same thing happens. I'm like, oh, really? So I wonder why. Well, if your mindset is going from job to job to job, guess what the same experience is? So we got to change that too. Be at peace and joyful where we are. And in the infinity of where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. And that's, just to understand, even though now we're seeing chaos, the little guy in North Korea just fired some big missile again overnight. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, scary stuff if we attach judgment to it. So it's a time now that really calls us to step up and walk our talk. I know that we can heal our life. And like I said, the healing really comes from the change of mind, change of vibration, and letting spirit take care of the details. As A Course in Miracles says, quite honestly, it says, this world isn't meant to be changed or fixed or any of that. It's meant to be forgiven. And I think that if we can just see the world in its holiness, which means to see beyond the drama and the suffering, then that enables the new second coming to be born. And of course, last week, we had the beautiful speaker, James Twyman. If you weren't here, it's on our YouTube video. It'll be on the email tonight. Thank you, Jim. And and by the way, Jim's done many of the speakers from last week from the Coptic. So I'm going to send a link so you can watch, whatever speakers and pick up some things that maybe you missed last week, or if you missed the event, because it was fantastic. But, James talked about, and I get this, and this is where I am, and I know so many of you guys, all of you guys are here. You got to be in 100%. That's it. It's like you're either in or you're out. Do I want to heal? Do I want to be happy? Or do I want to stay sad, angry, mad, sick, whatever? So it's like, no matter what, I'm going to be committed to joy, to peace, to awakening. Life is on my side. I'm going to totally surrender to the love of God in everything I do and be guided by that. When we do that, again, the world completely transforms in front of our eyes. It's amazing. That's so much more powerful than trying to fix it. Like I said, it's not meant to be fixed. It can't be fixed. It's got to be forgiven. As you know, and I think we can all relate to this in some level, we've all probably known someone who's got really cruddy, they've had some really cruddy things in their life, after another. It's like bang, bang, bang. And, it's not that they've done anything wrong. And by the way, they're happy on top of it. You know, they're just, I think though, to win this game of so-called life that we call it, is to take a journey, go through the knocks, good and bad, and just keep a smile on our face. And I think we all know people who have accomplished that. And I know we have as well. But it's a matter of total faith, total certainty in all of these beliefs. Don't take these little mantras, these little quotes lightly, because they all hold such great power. You know, thy will be done. I had an interesting healing with Bob Huttinga last week. He's a medical intuitive. He scanned my body and basically said, okay, you're healthy now in 5 years if you don't make some changes. Not so much. And it wasn't like I was like, oh God, no. I was just like, okay, what is it? I was ready, and and I've done it just this week, and I do feel different. It's amazing. Cut out the grains and the sugar and exercise more. Just start there. Big difference. And so I feel that one thing he said, which he says, are you a goal setter? And I'm like, no. And but you know, I used to be a big goal setter, and I used to be a life coach, and it was all about goal setting and planning, and just a little twist on this, I feel like my mantra is I place my future in God's hands. I surrender my future. I know I'm going to be led to exactly who and what I need for my highest good. And I go by that belief, or that's my intention in everything I do. So I'm not setting goals because I really don't know where my best interest lies. And I believe that just by that intention, Spirit led me to Bob to hear what he had to tell me. So we'll always be led to the right person, the right place, the right situation. And that's because life loves us, and that's the way things work in truth. So it all happens through our willingness to forgive. In the Course in Miracles, there's a beautiful quote. It says, you may believe that you are responsible for what you do, but not for what you think. The truth is that you are responsible for what you think, because it is only at this level that you can experience choice. What you do comes from what you think. It's not the other way around. So our thoughts are very powerful. You know, forgive. Where am I judging? Where am I afraid? Where am I holding on to grievances? You know, it ain't worth it. It's blocking your joy. We have that free will. We have that choice to transform anything into love. And that's what we're here to do. We've had this beautiful soul, and I'm sure she's still guiding us from wherever she is, which is everywhere. I believe she's everywhere, but most importantly, she's in our hearts and in this book. And I recommend, if you don't have this book, it's a good one to have at your bedside because it's terrific. Now, what I'd like to do, just for a little fun before we close here, who is dealing with or would like to know the emotional cause of an issue? Yes?
Bronchitis.
Bronchitis, okay. So now don't feel vulnerable here, no matter what it says. Bronchitis. Inflamed, and see if this makes any sense. Inflamed family environment, arguments and yelling, sometimes silence, suppressing. Are you suppressing anything? Okay. Something, yeah, maybe. But your mantra is, I declare peace and harmony within me and around me, all is well. Karen.
How about plantar fasciitis?
Oh, okay. Tough one. Let's see if she even addresses that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Plantar's wart. Okay.
If they don't, then see if they have dry skin.
Dry skin. Okay. Let's just look at skin issues. Okay. Okay, skin. Okay, just skin in general. Let's see. And it could be in here in another. Skin, basically, skin problems or anxiety or fear, old buried duck.
Or
and it says, I am feeling or I am being threatened. Okay, does that make sense? You holding on to some anxiety or fear? But your mantra, and say this after me because, okay, I lovingly protect myself
I lovingly protect myself
with thoughts of joy and peace.
with thoughts of joy and peace.
The past is forgiven
The past is forgiving
and forgotten.
and forgotten.
I am free in this moment.
I am free in this moment.
Amen.
Amen. Aren't we all? Yes, that is right. Yeah. Arthritis, okay.
See, I'll just let everybody else pick.
Freedom of movement.
Okay.
Take it one bit at a time.
Arthritis, it says, arthritis is feeling unloved, or you may be feeling criticism or resentment. And the mantra, you say this after me, I am love.
I am love.
I now choose to love and approve of myself.
I now choose to love and approve of myself.
I see others with love. So it is.
What about a heart attack?
Oh, sorry, Sarah. Oh, Sarah said? Okay, heart issues. That seems to be one that people are dealing with. And you know, a lot of this, and I think we have to remember this, don't feel guilty because we all have these issues. And we all might as well repeat the mantra together because we're all dealing with it and we're saying this for each other. And we got buried, yeah. And so at some level, we may be carrying all of this, these with us. So this is really good. Heart attack. Squeezing the joy out of the heart. Does that sound familiar? Squeezing the joy out of the heart. Okay, yeah. So let's repeat after me. I bring joy back into the center of my heart.
I bring joy back into the center of my heart.
I express love to all.
I express love to all.
Okay, cool. Now,
Lower back problems.
okay. Yeah, I think that's you'll get a lot of joiners in this one. Okay.
Stand if you're having a lower back issue.
Yeah. So that's one that a lot of people have. Okay. Lower back. Fear of money, lack of financial support. Does that resonate to some people? Okay.
I would say.
And I know this to be true because in my life when I felt financially stressed, you know, I can feel it. So let's all join in on this. Yes, Ed.
By the way, do we have a few moments of this service to learn a small song?
Well, we can do anything we want. Okay. We can do anything we want. Yeah.
I'd like to teach a song.
Okay. So, I trust the process of life.
I trust the process of life.
All I need is already taken care of.
All I need is already taken care of.
I am safe.
I am safe.
Now we could go on and on. We can play with this all you want. If someone wants to start a group on it, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But I just want to, in closing this, and then Ed can lead us in a song, and we'll just. But one thing, there's a chapter in here about prosperity. And conscious languaging, we talk a lot about this. It's a big thing. You've got to really watch your words, your thoughts. But money is an issue that a lot of people deal with. Lower back issues. Even people who have lots of money have financial issues. So it's not something that is reflected in your bank account. It's reflected in your mind. But these are some of the old programs that I bet you maybe we can relate to one or two of these and just think about it and say, no, these are not beliefs that I choose to buy into anymore. And how many of you all, money doesn't grow on trees. Money is filthy and dirty. Money is evil. I am poor, but I'm good. Rich people are crooks. I don't want to have money and be stuck up. I'll never get a good job. I'll never make any money. Money goes out faster than it comes in. I'm always in debt. Poor people can never get out from under. My parents were poor and I'll be poor too. Artists have to struggle. Only people who cheat have money. Everyone else comes first. I don't deserve. I'm not good enough to make money. Never tell anyone what I have in the bank. Never lend money. You know, all these crazy beliefs that are just beliefs. They're just thoughts. You know, there's more than enough money to sustain us. I have everything that I need for everything that I desire. You know, it's really just getting in that consciousness of that energy of prosperity and knowing that all my needs are taken care of. And I think that starts first, like James said, 100% in or out. Where are you? So let's choose to be in. It's an awesome place to be. This is I want to just thank this woman from the bottom of my heart for all the blessings she brought to us. Now I do want to, before Ed introduces us to that song, I have a little, just a few minutes of an interview with Louise that I watched last night, and I thought it was so powerful, and just want to share it with you because I think you'll enjoy it and get a lot out of it. And her energy is so amazing. So, let's just enjoy this for a few minutes. Is it up there? Yeah.
Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our future. So we have to be careful about what we say and think. And resentment and, going grungy, as I call it, going over and over and over those past difficulties, they don't do anything but attract more difficulties to you. Because I see life as a boomerang. Like, what you give out comes back to you. And this happens over and over and over again. With a boomerang, whenever you toss it out, it comes back. And if you toss it again, it will come back. So it's the same thing with our thinking and our speaking. It's very important to be appreciative of life and to express gratitude. The universe loves gratitude. The more grateful you are, the more things you have to be grateful about. And when I say things, I don't mean objects necessarily, but just you improve the quality of your life enormously.
I think what you're saying is the quality of life doesn't mean a really nice house or a really nice car.
It can, but it doesn't have to. But what good is a nice car if you are full of resentment all the time and you drive around hating everybody? That's not going to help anything. It's much better if you had an old car and you were grateful and appreciative of life. And I also think it's extremely important that you love and appreciate who you are. Too many of us have grown up believing that we're really not good enough, or we're not worthy, or we don't deserve. And we are divine, magnificent expressions of life, and we have to know that and experience it and rejoice in it. One of the things I tell people to do a lot is to go to the mirror, and especially first thing in the morning before you brush your teeth or anything, and look in the mirror and just say, I love you. I really, really love you. And start connecting with that inner child that's inside. The little kid who's probably been pushed away for a long time. And when you do that, it's amazing how miracles seem to happen.
If you could stress one thing, one concept, or one belief, what would be, and it's probably tough to sum it all up, but what would you say is the absolute most important thing?
Well, I think love who you are and be very grateful for life and very appreciative. Say thank you a lot. I say thank you many, many, many times of the day. Often not to anyone else. I just, oh, thank you. It's so wonderful. Thank you. And it's, you find more and more things to be thankful about. I was driving up today from San Diego, and the wildflowers on the hillsides are just beautiful this year. And I was thinking, I was so glad that I had the opportunity to see them. Because if I stayed down there, I wouldn't have. But this drive, which was, not a drive I particularly wanted to make, but it was gorgeous. Now, I'll tell you something that I love people to get if they can. When we have a problem, most of us go, oh, panic, panic, God, what are we going to do, blah, 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 blah. But I have something that I try to get people to say. When the minute there's a problem, you stop and you go, all is well. All is well. Everything's working out for my highest good. And out of this experience, only good will come. And I am safe. And And you do this, if it's a small thing, I say it 2 or 3 times. If it's a bigger issue, I babble it incessantly. Well, everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come, and I am safe. Now this quiets your inner turmoil down long enough for the universe to find the solution to the so-called problem. See, when there's problems, we don't have to fix problems so much. We need to fix our thinking and our attitude about how we respond to them. And then you get less and less. And when the solution comes, you say, thank you. I am not a salesperson. I am a teacher. And I work with people who come to me, who want to learn to change their lives. I remember when I first heard that if I was willing to change my thinking, I could change my life. It was like a revelation happened. And I thought, oh my goodness. And then I just spent all my time trying to find out how to do that. It sounded so wonderful. And there are other people who will never be interested. Maybe next lifetime, or the one after that.
So where do we go from here?
I don't know, but I will find out. Life will bring it to me. All is well.
Well, thank you. It's a beautiful being. Teach us, Ed.
No. I've been wanting to
It's not about what
teach
happens
this
to
song to this group for quite a while, actually. And I will make it brief because I know we've had a pretty long day. But first of all, I want to thank Charlotte for an unbelievable service. It's not really a service, it's a message. You know, when she says, I'm going to talk about this woman who had a profound life and was very, I've never heard of her. I have to admit, I've never heard of her because I don't read books and I don't follow those things. I do know how to read, but I don't read. And I wasn't quite sure where this was going to go. I have to say that I am absolutely in joy over what I've learned today. And this follows and really points and talks to what I've been trying to do for my life over the past 5 years, is living this whole entire idea of being able to not fix life, but learn how to better associate with it through joy, love, and gratitude.
This program was recorded with a live audience.
Thank you.
So, the song here was taught to me at Unity of the Palm Beaches. And Chris Jackson was my reverend, and he is an amazing, most amazing person. And when he said he was going to teach us this song, I was like, what? This song? I felt like I was being treated like I was some sort of adolescent in kindergarten. It was, and she's like, yay. And I actually learned that holding on to the child inside is what keeps you so beautifully young and full of joy. And so I had to reevaluate that song and what it meant to me. Then as I grew older, away from Unity, I find myself singing that song at home by myself. And it was craziness. Now, we are mostly made up of water. Now, water has already been proven to change in accordance to what the message or what you would like to convey to the water molecule, to the water. Water responds in kind. If you have harsh words, the water responds. If you have good words and loving words, the water responds in kind. Therefore, one of the reasons I'm joyful about coming up and helping Charlotte guide and bring up and levitate the songs and the joy in music and singing is because I realized that we're not just singing. The louder we sing, the more joyful we sing, the happier we feel. It's not the song, it's what the vibration is doing to our bodies that are bringing up and elevating the healing process within.
Right.
It's amazing. So this song is, you have to imagine the cells in your body. Imagine the cells in your body. That's right. It's every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is glad. Oh well, every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad. Every little cell in my body is well. And it can go on from there. I've actually created this really cool jazzy set, every little body, or every little cell in my body is well. You can get a rock and roll groove with it. You can make up your own way. But it's really great to sing that. And I would actually encourage every single one of us, when we're at home or driving in your car, whether you're with somebody in the car, teach them the song and sing it in the car. If you're on a travel, if you're home vacuuming, just sit there, turn on the vacuum and go, every little cell in my body is happy, every little cell in my body is well. And bring some joy to your heart and elevate the healing process within. And that's just my thing.
Just real quick before we bless our offering, we had a board member in Florida. Her name was Mary Percival. She's another woman. She's probably 97 now. Vibrant, plays tennis, still golf. Anyway, she sings that song and she says, every morning in the shower, I'm like patting my body, every little cell, and she goes up and down. So that's a good time to do it. It's obviously worked for her.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so at this time we'll bless our offerings and give thanks for this beautiful day and for the blessing of such a powerful being on our planet who transformed so many lives from fear to love. And Holy Spirit, we ask that we use these gifts for your holy purposes. We place our center in your hands and know that all is in perfect and divine order. So it is. Amen. Okay, God. Thank you, God. And I got a fun, here, we'll just pass that down. And this song, I don't know if you ever heard it, but we'll close. It's called, it just sort of sits today, called Get a Bigger Pan. Turn up a little bit.
I was standing by this fisherman out there on the bridge. He bagged small one after small one, put him in his little fridge. Then he come